Yo, 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 yo. We are back again. It is your boys, the Morale Effect. We are back again. This is Big Trent. I'm here with my boy Zay. Last week we touched on a little bit of enthusiasm. This week we're gonna bring out something a little bit more stern, a little bit more of a conversation piece that I feel is
We're gonna go. We're gonna
deeper.
go. We're gonna go. We're gonna go
Yeah,
discipline. We're gonna
yeah,
go.
we're gonna go the big discipline way this
We're
time.
gonna go.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
go discipline.
Yeah. What Cuz talking about is an Instagram video where he talking about how it is to be in Atlanta, and they always say we're gonna go 10 lemon pepper hot. You know what I'm saying?
Extra
Uh,
sprinkle.
extra sprinkle. You know what I'm saying?
Put the seasoning on my fry. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
Right. Right.
All three drinks in the cup.
Right.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, with the
Yeah.
extra ranch. You
Need
know
it.
what I'm saying?
Need it. Crazy. Yeah. But again, man, just want to let y'all know, man, we back for another episode. Excited for this episode. We got a lot of good questions we want to phrase not only to us but to y'all too, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tune in, check the video out, check the Instagram reels out, man. Let us know how y'all feel. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear from y'all too, bro.
For sure.
Truthfully want to hear from y'all. But you got anything for him, cuz?
Nah, man, just blessed to be here, man. God is good. Just another opportunity to spread the message of morale because we know we need it. You know what I'm saying? We know it's needed out there. So just want to just make the most of this opportunity, man. And hopefully what we do today gonna help somebody. Let's get into it.
Definitely. Like you said, truthfully blessed, man. I know that this word that we're talking about today, it is deeper than a lot of things, and it gets to a point where it's hard for you to go through life without it. I think as a young adult going into a new stage of my life as far as marriage, new opportunity, trying to buy a house, apartment, get into all that. I think it boils down to this word, discipline. It truly aligns with a better way of life. If you don't have this, it's difficult for you to not continuously fall into a place where you're stagnant and being uh, consistent in being like complacent. You know what I'm saying? So I got a question I wanted to ask you, cuz to phrase you first. When did you
Hit
first
me.
realize the importance of discipline in your life?
Hmm. I think it was college for me
Mm.
because I didn't have a parent to wake me up in the morning to go to my 8 a.m. class. I didn't have a parent to tell me, you know what I'm saying, do this, do that, make sure your room clean, make sure this, you know what I'm saying, make sure you're going to do this, that, and the third. Like, it really became, I was my parent. Like, I was the person that had to be responsible to get things done. And if stuff didn't get done, I couldn't say, well, why you ain't wake me up? Why you ain't do this? Why you ain't do... It was, I need to be having that conversation with me because I was the only person on that campus that was responsible for myself. You feel what I'm saying? So that was one moment in my life where definitely that discipline kicked in, and yeah, that's my scenario.
So
That's it.
um I would kind of add on to that. Those that know that didn't know, I did not go to college route. Um, I started entrepreneurship right out of high school. But what I would say for me, my first level of that discipline is sports, man. I
Mm.
definitely Sandy Creek was a school where they took athletics almost higher than they did academics. Some would argue those that went
I
to
was
Sandy
about to
Creek.
say probably did.
Those that went to the creek, y'all know, y'all chime in, y'all can know what I'm talking about. Y'all exactly finna know what I'm talking about when I get to talk about this. But they used to do something called mat drills. Mat drills was from freshman year. If you were good enough, you came in around 8th grade. That's when they really got to see if you had it in you or not. Mat drills was at 5 o'clock in the morning. You're in high school, having to wake up at 5 o'clock. You had to wake up at 4, really, and go throughout your whole day, whole high school day. It's not just like you get done at 5 o'clock, you get to go home. No, it's you're there at 5, you get done at 6:30. If you clean, you get to take a shower. Some niggas take no shower, but if you clean, you take a shower. If not, you're going throughout your day. So you go from mat drills into your day, and you had weight training. So I would say my discipline level came from having to wake up, go to bed at night. Make sure you don't eat nothing crazy the night before because you will throw it up at the mat drills. And then go out your day. You still couldn't fail because coach was checking grades, so you still had to be up. You couldn't be sleeping class. So just being able to discipline in that was my first line, and that was in the 8th grade year. So in the 8th grade year going into now, just being able to have that consistency of being disciplined, I do have to credit that to the Creek. So to tie into this though, also, um, we all are human, bro, and I think too a good part of this conversation boils down to not just this conversation, just the conversation we've had in general, boils down to comprehending that you're gonna slip, bro. Everybody has times where they're go, 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 go. But also there's times where we're human. Life happens. So my question for you, cuz, is how do you bounce back when your discipline slips? Like when it comes to a point where you are sitting there and you doing something you like, I don't need to be doing this. I know I'm better than this, or I know this ain't what I've been doing. This ain't it. I need to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? What do you do to bounce back from that?
For me, it kind of goes back to what we was talking about with enthusiasm, trying to center my why. Like, why am I? Why do I have the drive or the want to do the thing that I'm saying I need to stay disciplined to?
Right.
Um, like for instance, like when it comes to like the gym, like don't want to go to the gym, but what gets me back on track is if I don't go to the gym, like how my body's gonna feel, how my body's gonna look. Like there's consequences. I think that's another thing too that gets you up and moving is the consequences of not doing what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? Because like life is gonna discipline you if you don't have discipline. You know what I'm saying? That correction, that correction, that discipline is coming from somewhere. Whether that's self discipline or you know what I'm saying, your life gonna discipline you one way or the other. You know
For
what I'm
sure.
saying? I'd rather try to take the initiative and be self-disciplined, but there are moments where you slip. So you got to like just try to refocus, man, and center yourself in your why of why does this mean why does this thing mean enough to me to stay consistent to it?
For sure.
Uh, and so yeah, that's what comes to mind for me.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask this question. I'm not picking on you, but those that I'm gonna say this as nicely as I can. I'm trying to get it out.
Man,
Those that know
you know, he
cuz
don't like me anyway. It's cool.
look, those that know cuz know that there are some times where he could be too hard on himself. So the
Mm.
question, the phrase for you today is
Dang,
um,
that, man, why you turn this to a Dr. Phil session?
but I'm not trying to, bro. I'm not trying to,
Go
bro. But
ahead,
I,
bro.
I
Go
do
ahead,
want
bro.
to.
Go ahead,
I
bro.
do want to hear, and I want the people to hear, the collective to hear. Um, and y'all chime in on this one, on this question specifically. But like, how do you distinguish between discipline and being too hard on yourself? Like, what's a good decisive factor that splits? Okay, this is discipline, but at this point right here, I got to be hard on myself, but not too hard to the point where you bring yourself down. You know what I'm saying? Is that even a thing, or
To me, bro, the difference between discipline and being hard on yourself is love. Discipline is rooted in self love.
hmm,
Like, you know what I'm
okay,
saying? Like, if I'm trying to be better or better myself out of love, I'm gonna, it's gonna be a more positive, I guess, self perception on the situation. It's like I know I'm capable of being this, so I'm gonna hold myself accountable to that. You know what I'm
okay,
saying? Whereas if you kind of being hard on yourself, kind of in that self punishment, it's more so like rooted in shame. So I'm not enough until I prove that I've done this. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, that's the distinguishing factor between discipline and being hard on yourself is that the presence of self love and why you're doing it. Like, why are you being hard on yourself? Are you being hard on yourself because you know that you're capable of more and you see more in you, or are you hard on yourself because you down on yourself and you don't believe you're capable of what I'm saying is possible. But that's my perspective.
So I got a tackle on question on top of that. You mentioned love is a part of, or is a safer part of discipline for yourself. What are some tips you can give some people that kind of aligns with the statement you said? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can be shown, or what can you do for yourself for it still to be that level of discipline there, but also that love you're talking about?
Um, the extension of grace. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, I've been disciplined to this thing, and I slipped up and I fell off the wagon. So like, cool, I might have been like at one point I was in the gym for like 100 and some. No, I lied. It was like 50 something weeks straight, something like
Yeah,
that. And there was a couple times in that I fell off the wagon. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't beat myself up because I had to sit back and be like, bro, you just went to the gym 35 weeks in a row and you caught the flu. You know what I'm saying? So you broke the streak, but it's like I couldn't punish myself for that. You know what I'm saying? I had to accept that that was just something that happened and you just kind of get back and go. So it's
right,
like if you're dwelling on, and we talked about that in the last podcast, like that kind of that fear of failure. Like if you or it's not necessarily fear, it's like saturating yourself in the failure. You got all the success that you had before the moment of failure. But forget all that, the moments of success. Let's focus on this failure right here where I just fell short. And because I fell short, everything that I accomplished goes out the window. That's not the case. You know what I'm saying? We all gonna fall short. We humans. That's just human nature. But it's about what you gonna do when you fall off the wagon. Let yourself fall, get the crust off your knees, and you know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do, bro. Get back on that horse, and you got to ride it. You know what I'm saying?
right. No diddy.
No
Um,
diddy, no diddy, no
no
diddy,
diddy. But
no
to
diddy.
touch on that too, I think the narrative that's wrote for a lot of people right now in this world is, I think the fall get up aspect is kind of viewed negatively. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of men, I can only speak for men, or at least for me, for my growing up time period, it was more of a, you don't focus on how long you was on the horse. What you focus on is the fact that you got knocked off, and what defines you as a man is how fast or how soon or even how strong you get back up. So to the point where you were just saying, like, no one pays attention to the fact that you were riding or you were doing so good for so long and then you fall off. But I think the narrative needs to be altered. I ain't gonna say changed, but I do think it needs to be altered to also comprehend in self love that you did well for a good amount of time. You fell off. But true, I feel too that the statement is true. You know what I'm saying? What does define a man to an extent is the way that they get knocked back down.
Yeah. How do you
And,
respond to
and
adversity?
how do you respond to adversity? That is
Yeah.
what a lot of people feel is what defines you as a man. So to an extent, showing that grace is good, because another thing that adds on to this is failure is a part of success. You can't succeed if you don't fail.
Mm-hmm.
So my words of uh, wisdom to y'all would be, and to myself, you know what I'm saying? Even still, like, I'm still afraid to fail at sometimes. Now more than ever, because I've acquired a life partner. You know what I'm saying? And with that holds more weight on my shoulder. I can't fail because I got somebody that's with me as well. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, but also too, understanding that I think there's educated ways you can fail. Don't go full in knowing you don't know what you're doing and then you just throw all your money away. No, put some money into it, but also make sure you got safety blankets in case it don't go through.
Uh-huh.
So just use your brain overall. You got anything else you want to add on that, cuz?
Yeah, bro. Just discipline will stretch you, not break you. You know what I'm saying? Like discipline will push you to your limits, but it won't push you over the limit. Like, and self-talk has a lot to do with that as well. So like if you talking down on yourself, that's not a form of discipline. That's now you're generating internal pressure. It's not necessarily coming from a place of grace and love for yourself. It's like, well, I ain't this and I ain't that, and you supposed to have this done by this day. And bruh, I'm sitting here telling y'all this, and I'm still working on it
Right.
because I'm very much like to, and I'm also working on that phrase from the first podcast, which I feel like is so profound: progress over perfection. You know what I'm saying? If we're seeking perfection, then that's gonna come with a whole lot of mental issues. You can't discipline your way into perfection. It's just not gonna happen. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So you have to like not seek perfection, but just seek progress. And progress is the reward for discipline. Am I where I want to be? Nah. But am I where I used to be? Nah. Am I making progress? Am I further along than I was yesterday, last month, last week, last year? Of course. And that's a result of the discipline to keep going and keep at it, even when it's getting hard. No Diddy.
I wasn't gonna say nothing on that one, but
Hey, I just
these
gotta cover it, bro.
these last two I got, it's gonna be angled towards y'all. Tell you the honest truth. So this one right here is what's a message to someone who's struggling to stay disciplined but wants to change? You want me to go because you got it.
What's a message? One more time.
What's a message to someone who's struggling to stay disciplined, uh, but wants to change? Like they struggling in the aspect of staying disciplined, but they want to change. They want to see that, yeah, I need to go to the gym, or maybe I need to put this bottle down as much, drink some more water, or uh, shorten their meals, not eating as much. Or I mean, discipline is
Yeah.
strict out across a lot of things. Reading a book. I'm trying to think of some more stuff. What's some more, cuz, that we can think of? Like I say, reading a book, gym,
Start a
eating,
business.
start a business, staying consistent.
So something that comes to mind as you're speaking. I don't mean to cut you off,
You
but
good? Go ahead.
all those things that you were just discussing are things that we look at on a macro level. Like, okay, cool. I want to be in the gym for a year. That's a macro thing. I want to start a business. That's a macro thing. I want to. What was one of the other things you said?
Stop drinking so much alcohol.
Yeah,
Drink
I
more.
want to stop drinking. I want to stop engaging in a vice. Um, those are macro things that it took you a long time to like build those negative things that you or negative habits that you want to get rid of.
Correct.
So you have to attack that on a micro level.
Correct.
Like not going to the gym became a habit on a daily basis. Day by day, you weren't in the gym. Day by day, you fell to alcoholism or drug abuse. Day by day, you know what I'm saying? Like all of these bad habits were accumulated. But that's the same way you undo it. Day by day. It's a daily challenge. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I was on my journey in the gym to that when I was doing this 52-week challenge, like it wasn't okay, I'm trying to get to 52 weeks. I'm trying to get to today. Well, my goal was 3 times a week for 52 weeks.
Right.
Right. So I had to break it down into chunks. Okay, cool. It's Monday. I need to get into the gym 3 times this week. Okay, cool. I can go tomorrow. That's one day towards my 3 times a week, towards them 52 weeks. I did today. Cool. All I got to do is do tomorrow and then do the next day. You know what I'm saying? And then over time, the macro goal has been completed. I think sometimes we try to take things and try to accomplish it all in one go. Finish your food in one bite. Like you got to it's a process. You got to pinch at it, you know what I'm saying? And eventually whatever the challenge is, whatever the goal is you're trying to accomplish, you're going to get there. But discipline starts with daily progress towards that thing. Now you might make more progress tomorrow than you did yesterday, or you might make less progress 2 weeks from now than you did last month, but you still moving in towards the direction. So just giving yourself grace to know I just got to make it to today, and then tomorrow worry about itself. Worry about itself. And when I get to tomorrow, cool. What am I doing today to get towards that goal? All I can do is what I can do today, and that develops that consistency.
So I'm gonna add to that, just like some little back notes. I think too, what's important, and I think you touched on it, um, understanding that it took a minute for you to get to the point where it's a vice, or for you to get to a point where you even are consciously wanting to tell yourself that it's time to change. Um, I think the discipline factor comes into play when you wake up and comprehend that you're knowingly acknowledging the fact that, hey, I used to do this. I'm not trying to do this no more. And the key points you touched on too, when you operate like that day by day, you'll start seeing that change. And once that change starts, even like the gym, like the reason why I fell off, come back on, fell off, come back on, because gym gives you that feeling. Everyone that's a gym rat knows that's what keeps them going. It's a feeling of like that soreness, but it's sore to the point where
It hurt good.
I like this. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Crazy type like I gotta get that. I gotta get that sweating. I gotta get that pain. You know, shout out to Welcome Pain. But overall too, just comprehending that when you do the deeds that you're trying to get disciplined in, they're going to show their rewards. So, a key point that I know me and Zay have talked about a couple of times, me and my wife as well. Write it out and make it plain, bro. Make it clear what you want to do. Write out your day. Now, I ain't saying you got to be the people where I got to eat, poop, do this, go to sleep, write this at this amount of time, but you do know, okay, today I need to do this. Today I need to take out this. Today I need to drink this much amount of water. Today I need to hit the gym. Just having a list of items that prioritize that discipline level is important. I've done it. It works. I got to get back on it.
Mm-hmm.
Been hectic, truthfully. But getting back to that regimen, it definitely helped me understanding that I had this, and this to do today, almost like a checklist,
Mm-hmm.
um, which caused for that confidence level to continuously grow because I'm doing it over and over again. And that's
Right.
one thing I learned. I don't know if we touched on. I think we touched on a little bit last week, but when you continuously show up for yourself, not only does your discipline grow, your confidence grows. And once your confidence grows, you're gonna walk every day with enthusiasm. And that's all we try to get y'all to understand is remain in the discipline and then grow for the confidence. And then it's gonna carry you into that enthusiasm. And that's gonna guide you for as long as you want it to. But just comprehending that. And our slogan and our words that we always want y'all to know, do good. Once you start to do good, you gonna feel good. And what's that last one, cuz? Once you feeling good,
Got to live good.
you gonna live good. You gonna live good. And we're not just telling you that. You know what I'm saying? You got to actually apply that. Start applying that to y'all lives. You know what I'm saying? And again, a lot of these questions we want to hear from y'all, bro. Like y'all chime in with us. Check in on the Instagram. If y'all got us personally, hit us. You know what I'm saying? We may start asking a couple of y'all that do hit us. Y'all mind if we share a little bit of y'all testimony or share a little bit of y'all story on the podcast? You know what I'm saying? If you feel comfortable, you can come on and tell it yourself. You know what I'm saying? We'll start doing that eventually. Um, but for the last little tad bit I got, it's going a little bit into this question as well.
I mean,
Um,
but before you shift gears,
Go ahead.
let me add this one thing, right? So like the one of the greatest barriers to consistency or discipline can be the hustle and bustle of life. Like I'm not gonna sit up here and ignore that because that's something that is a barrier of mine in my personal life. That has been a barrier of ours when it comes to our business. We got 9 to 5s, and we're also trying to run this business. But we have to like the discipline is what, and the enthusiasm. Discipline and enthusiasm is what like gets you through it when you feel overwhelmed already with what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Like the key to overcoming that is being passionate about what you're doing and really believing in what you're doing. Like if you're not passionate about it and you don't believe
Right.
in it, then that drive to be disciplined is just not gonna be there.
100%. 100% for sure. And then I think for me, there's some little bit more tips for him, cuz just for before we go ahead and call it for this evening. But what daily habits keep your vision aligned with your discipline?
What daily habits keep my vision aligned with my discipline? Man, I think for me, prayer with God,
Right.
because
Uh,
he,
yeah.
yeah, he'll give me the revelation and be like, okay, cool, I want you to go do this. This is what I got purpose for you. But like I said, oftentimes what God reveals to you is macro. You know what I'm saying? And now as man, as human, we have to deal with the micro steps to get to that vision. You know what I'm saying? So I say prayer is one of those things. And one habit that I had adopted before that worked for me that I fallen off on that I need to adopt again is what you were saying earlier, just about writing a vision. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to get off track and undisciplined when you don't have a roadmap to follow. Like if you on this map of life and you just wandering aimlessly, yeah, of course you're gonna get off track. Oh dang, all these lefts start to look the same. All these paths start to look the same if I don't have no clear vision of where I'm going. So being able to like have your vision clearly mapped out for yourself. So that way you can achieve the task you're trying to achieve. It's extremely hard to be disciplined without a plan. Because what you being disciplined to, like,
Correct. Correct. I would tack on to that too. I know I already spoke on it before too, but um, when you write that vision, bro, it for me, what I've had to do was I wrote the vision and then I made bullet points. What does it take for me to get to this vision? You know what I'm saying? What disciplinary actions do I have to take to get to this point? So like for me, I'm only reason I can't say that I'm a investor or a real estate mogul is because I haven't done anything yet. But I'm very intrigued in real estate. So I have a high interest in real estate. And for me, I don't know anyone around me that's gotten as far as I have in the course. But I got to finish that. So now I'm writing in my book, okay, today you got to finish this course. Today you got to study. You got to make sure you know this and this before you take that test next month. See what I'm saying? Because I also comprehend and know what it will do for my life. So I have to comprehend also the disciplinary acts that I have to put in play for that vision. So at the top of the paper, it's real estate license acquired. Bullet points. Finish the online exam. What does it take for me to do that? Take the in-person exam. What does it take for me to do that? And comprehending that you got to go through these things and take these actions just for it to sink into your brain. So I think it's important for you to write your actions, write what you want to do. Also document um, how long you've been doing it.
uh-huh,
Give yourself success parties, bro. That's something I've always.
uh-huh,
Um, there's always something there. Give yourself success. Pat yourself. Give yourself flowers while you're here, bro.
uh-huh,
Also, I want to give as we come to an end, um, I want to give my condolences to the family of Kyron Lacey. Um, Gone too soon. I do know a part of our mission, a part of our message is also mental health. And for a closing remark on my end, it doesn't necessarily tie into this, but I do want it to be known. Check on your people, man. Check on people truthfully. You know what I'm saying. I'm not going to take this to a point where I want everybody crying. But I do want y'all to comprehend one phone call can change a lot.
uh-huh.
I know for me, I've been there. I know I've called people and they've been there. And I know it should have been some more calls that should have went forth to my peoples. But you know what I'm saying? I want everybody to know that got my phone number. Or if you just need to get a hold of me, man, call me, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's never to a point where in my eyes, God solves all. If you ever feel like it's too heavy, bro, call somebody, bro. I guarantee you what they say to you that day or whatever they say to you on that phone is from God and it's gonna be to save you, bro. So, That's just my little tad bit. But reach out to your peoples, bro. It don't have to be an hour-long conversation. You could just say, I'm calling you, use on my heart. That's all I got to say. Use on my heart. I'm just calling you to check in, make sure you're good. And then if it is that, and they are good, you may have to ask the fellas a couple times. You know what I'm saying? All my dogs, I call them, you good? Yeah, bro, I'm straight,
Good.
bro. I'm straight, bro. You
But it's
sure?
crazy. He just hit me with that the other week, but we ain't gonna speak on it.
Right, right. But again, you know what I'm saying? Call, check on your peoples. You got anything else for them, cuz?
Yeah, just adding on to what you were saying, like check on your folks, and especially check on the people who are the strong ones, who are the ones who are always smiling, who are the ones that's always in a good mood. Because oftentimes people will present that face and then got a whole nother mask behind it. You know what I'm saying? So even the ones you feel like, man, he all right, I ain't gotta check on her. She all right. She always the life of the party. She always uplifting folks. Please check on them. Because they
Yeah,
got a lot of weight on them from carrying carrying the weight of people who might have confided in them, taking on that, and then also not really dealing with some of the real things that they dealing with just because of they're trying to create this facade of I'm strong, I'm happy. But the other tidbit I want to leave y'all with is a noticing that I feel like is a conduit of the lack of discipline in today's society is don't get I'll use a harsh term here. Don't get strung out on instant gratification. We live in an instant gratification world. Instant gratification is the nemesis of discipline. If you're constantly trying to seek results overnight, you're in for a long night. You're in for a long life because nothing worth having happens overnight. Nothing worth having comes easy. Like you have to take the time to like allow that seed to grow. You know what I'm saying? A plant don't spring up overnight, but once that tree is it grows up, there's so much fruit that's off of it that other people are going to be able to benefit from. But if we continue to be in this microwave society of let me get it right quick, like that's the opposite of discipline. Discipline is I'm gonna keep going even when it look like it ain't working right now, but I know that if I stay consistent, I'm gonna get to it. And I think a lot of times, like we'll be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna start this, and it ain't work how I wanted to work. So man, it must not be. But God got to take you through certain steps to get you where He want to take you. I heard a minister say one time, like you need to be thankful that sometimes God is holding up some blessings from you because you're not even equipped to handle that blessing. Like, cool, yeah, you want to be a multimillionaire, cool, I can give you the multimillionaire money, but the weight of that gonna crush you because you ain't went through the process to be able to strengthen yourself to be able to take that weight. Same thing like in the gym. You can go in and try to bench 300 if you want to,
right.
and you ain't never touched the gym. You're gonna get crushed.
Ain't gonna end well for you. Make
It's
sure you
not
got.
gonna end well for you.
Make
It's a
sure you
it's
got.
a step by step process. You're
Yeah.
gonna get stronger. You're gonna get more more resilient, but it just takes time, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't fall in love with instant gratification. The long way sometimes is the best way.
Right. Um. And I'll add to this for it to be it for the day. But when you said that, it made me remember the song Nipsey Hussle put out where he was talking about the only distinguishing difference between him and everybody else is that he ain't quit. He kept going. He kept giving it a shot. So like to a point where Cuz is saying, understanding that this ain't gonna come overnight, bro. We gotta understand it. I hope everyone else can. The people that y'all see that may have thought that it was overnight success, it was. They did the work behind the scenes where a lot of people weren't looking at it when they ain't get no views, when they got 0 views, or they ain't even want to make the post. So don't look at the society today thinking that it could be an overnight sensation. Those that are that, they don't last. You want to last. You don't want to just be in the limelight. You want to last.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my tidbit to add to Cuz, man. Cuz if you ain't got no other remarks, man, we're going to let these folks have a good evening. Again, like I say, you can follow us on Instagram at The Morale Collective. We got other socials on the way. Website Shop Morale. My personal is the King Trent. Your personal, cuz, let them know your Instagram.
Primetime X, PR1METIME.X.
Okay. Mine is the_King_Trent. So yeah, man. Look, my last words, I just want to leave with everybody. Going forth in these last couple of episodes and just listen. We've given y'all a lot of good input on some things, man. Just take them, reach back out to us. And I know I've said that today, but I mean it. You know what I'm saying? Me and Cuz definitely mean it. A lot of this, of what we're doing, is for the community. It's not just for us. Not just for us to come on here and look at each other and talk. It's overall for y'all to give us feedback so we can know what it is to impact y'all, not just y'all, but the community itself. Um, and with that being said, man, go forth this week. Do some discipline. Do some indiscipline. Whether that's a lot of, I ain't gonna attack the women, but I know at least my wife struggles a little bit on drinking water. Make sure you get a couple extra bottles in. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I love you, baby. But get you some extra water in. Get that walk in the neighborhood. I don't know. Eat your salad this week. But I ain't always trying to talk about the health tips. Do the things that you also know needs to be done disciplinary wise. Like if you know you ain't picked up a book and read the book, read the book. But that's my little tablet for y'all. Cause if you got some, let me know. But
Now that's it on my end, man.
well, again, man, this is the Moral Collective. I hope y'all enjoy y'all week. This was another great episode, but we got more coming from this. Y'all enjoy y'all weeks and have a good week. Peace.
Peace.